Hey folks, welcome back to Gaming Garbage Road. Take a look at games and about the gaming news in the industry, and of course, stream for fun. Today, we're kind of going over a state of gaming today, and again, I don't do these all the time. I do them when I have something to chat about, which is kind of a deeper dive. And well, we're going to be talking about some of the stuff floating around out there with AI and how things aren't maybe going as well as they thought they were. Things with Microsoft or Nvidia or OpenAI. And I know there's been a lot of stuff out there, and I'm not overly excited about AI too and how it's affecting us, not just in gaming, but other things as well. But I really think a lot of people are thinking about it all wrong. Sam and OpenAI may not necessarily be on the hook for their spending spree. And this is the big one. This is the big one I really wanted to talk about. There's been a lot of money that has been dumped. It's been, hundreds of billions of dollars, right, from multiple companies. There's been tens of trillions, really, that has been dumped into AI for a long time. But the thing that I really wanted to share was that, what if OpenAI couldn't be affordable as a company anymore? And, the CFO, the financial officer, Sarah, suggested that the government could act as a backstop for the company's commitments. And I really want that to sink in because this is something that people haven't talked about yet. And it's that the AI is now a race. It's not that it's coming. It's already here. And it's not companies competing against other companies. While I think it started that way, it's now countries competing. And if something is national security, well, the governments are going to keep those companies going, the best companies, right? Let's take a look at actually OpenAI's website themselves and their approach to AI and national security. So yeah, the U.S. government can responsibly harness AI to advance national security while establishing essential guardrails for its use. They recognize the importance of increasing the supply and access to semiconductor chips, power generation, and data center capacity, all of which we agree are essential to continue U.S. leadership in AI. And again, this is a country, U.S. It's not other companies, it's a country. At OpenAI, we're building AI to benefit the most people possible. Supporting U.S. and allied efforts to advance AI in a way that upholds democratic values is essential to our mission of ensuring AI benefits are widely shared. We view NSM as an important step forward in that effort. Here is how we're currently thinking about national security and our role in it. OpenAI is collaborating with DARPA to help cyber defenders better protect critical networks, and also working with other U.S. agencies for international development. So, they're not just integrated and competing as a business on the open market, okay? They're working with government agencies and have been for some time probably to further the development of the U.S. government. Yeah, just that further development. And the thing, too, is when things become part of national security, it also affects those materials. So this is the thing. This was just released for this year. This is a final list. And updated as of this year is more of the same type of material that's needed to build the hardware and build the games that we enjoy playing every year. And one of them is copper. Another one's lead. We're also looking at silicon and silver and uranium. So all of that is integrated into our technologies, into our PlayStations and Xboxes and PCs and our Switch 2s, and for being able to build the games that we have. And it's just kind of a mess. It's just kind of a mess. And the silicon and silver and the copper, those were never on the list before. And with these now being added, well, it kind of changes some things to where the U.S. government is now going to get involved in these materials. And there's going to be more regulations. There's going to be more stuff allocated. They're basically going to get first dibs on buying what they want or what they need for whatever they're going to build. And then the rest is given to the open market or the consumer market where you and I buy our gaming stuff, or where companies buy their stuff to make the games, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, this totally changes things. And again, this is not just the United States. there are more countries that are just digging into this and allocating budgets. So far, the United States is almost $500 billion that they're budgeting for this, which again is generative AI, semiconductors, and national security infrastructure. China is so far at 119, but we also see United Kingdom, Canada, Israel, Germany, India, France, South Korea, and Singapore. And guess what? They all need the same materials. So even if OpenAI failed, even if Microsoft's whole thing with AI and all of this failed and they took massive dunks on the stock, okay? Same with Meta and Amazon and name them all. I don't care. The fact that this is becoming a race, more of a race, not just with us and China, but with other countries too, is that it's not going to make gaming cheaper because we need the silicon, silver, and copper, and gold, and all of this other stuff to actually make the hardware so we can play video games and so that games can actually be made. And this is something, too, that I want to share. This is actually a really good video. If you're interested at all, I suggest watching it. It's about 34 minutes, but really pay attention, allocate some time. But I'll just show this real quick.
26, China fully wakes up. The General Secretary commits to a national AI push and starts nationalizing AI research in China.
AIs built in China start getting better and better, and they're building their own agents as well.
Chinese intelligence agencies, among the best in the world, start planning to steal OpenBrain's model weights, basically the big raw text files of numbers that allow anyone to recreate the models that OpenBrain themselves have trained. Meanwhile, in the US, OpenBrain releases Agent 1 Mini, a cheaper version of Agent 1. Remember, the full version is still being used only internally. And companies all over the world start using 1 Mini to replace an increasing number of jobs. Software developers, data analysts, researchers, designers, basically any job that can be done through a computer. So a lot of them, probably yours. We have the first AI-enabled economic shockwave. The stock market soars, but the public is turning increasingly hostile towards AI, with major protests across the US. In this scenario, though, that's just a sideshow. The real action is happening inside the labs. It's now January 2027, and OpenBrain has been training Agent 2, the latest iteration of their AI agent models. Previous AI agents were trained to a certain level of capability and then released, but Agent 2 never really stops improving through continuous online learning.
So hopefully you guys are starting to understand a little bit is that the whole thing with individual U.S. companies, buying up all of this stuff, buying up the wafers, all of that, whatever, that is just a small little teeny thing that we get to know about. But the real focus toward artificial general intelligence, AGI, that's the real goal. And regardless of what you and I think about AI or AGI, the fact is that it's already been built into a type of race against other countries that are already building stuff. And while this is just talking about different scenarios and different possibilities, and this video is also some of the brightest people and some of the founders of AI and stuff that are kind of giving their input, putting out research papers, and this is all just kind of condensed into one video. Again, it's really good, but it made me realize that, yeah, it's no longer about NVIDIA or Microsoft or, Sam Altman. It's not about any of this. It's way bigger. It's way bigger. It's way past that. And the fact that we have now more materials that are just being added to as critical materials and minerals for stuff, and that not just the United States government, but other countries too are going to get more involved, see the materials as national security. It's just going to make it worse. Really. It's going to make it horrible. And one thing we still haven't even talked about yet is quantum computing. and this is going to be another technology that, again, is going to be part of national security. And it already is. Partly with who's able to use it. So get it first so that you can have the influence. Just, that's normal. That's a normal arms race. But also the fact that how dangerous quantum computing is going to be. And oh my word, if we ever actually take an AI to couple with quantum computing, I don't think the world's ready for that, honestly. But that's a whole nother video. So there you have it. Even if these companies fail, even if they have major pullbacks, which again, I understand why people are excited for this, but it's really not going to matter. Gaming is going to stay expensive. It's going to stay high. $80 games, I'm sure, are coming. $1,000, $2,000 hardware to game on is going to be normal. And this is why I think partly Microsoft or even like Nvidia with Play Game Now or Nvidia now and Game Pass are positioned in a good spot, because I don't think everyone's going to be able to afford the hardware like they did. So they're going to have to go to other alternatives to actually play and enjoy a hobby. But yeah, the hobby is getting more expensive, and I don't see that changing. Period. Because yeah, now it's national security. So with that, folks, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one.